Well, now, CPW Universe, I was hoping, I was praying, I was begging to every single power above that Mr. CC would be able to come down and introduce me tonight. But, it is what it is. There's no hard feelings, Mr. CC. But let me make it clear to every single solitary member in the CPW locker room, as one of the first Hall of Fame inductees in CPW, you would not be here if not for the guidance of one Mr. CC. You would not be here performing under this brand's name if it weren't for the guidance of one Mr. CC. See, one Mr. CC bred every single solitary superstar here into the man they are today, whether they realize it or not. See, there were very, 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 very many men who decided to walk away, who decided to turn their backs when Mr. CC threw a little bit of adversity in their way. But see, the men who were brave enough, the men who had the merit to stick through it, were the men who stand among the upper echelon that you see before you today. And that's why your Irish bastard is sitting in front of you right now for the first time in God knows how long in a CPW ring in front of the CPW universe, speaking to each and every one of you, because as a Hall of Fame member, well, I owe that to a career of greatness that spawned from the idea of one man who decided, well, that the Irish bastard needed to be hardcore. And, well, who was that man? Well, once again, it was the mind behind it all. It was Mr. CC. See, Mr. CC knew from the get-go exactly what I needed to do to reach the top and maintain my status as one of the best promo wrestlers to ever live on this planet. See, well, in the spark of that one little idea with one little rookie who had never quite stepped foot into the promo wrestling world, well, that turned into a 50-plus day undefeated streak, defending my hardcore championship against every man, woman, and child who decided that they thought they were hardcore. I fought multiple men at once. I participated in a hardcore elimination chamber and walked out as the man on top. See, it took very, very, very intricate men. It took men with the technical skills and the genius prowess of Einstein himself to overcome me in the ring. And that's because I've underestimated them at that point. And when I underestimate a man, well, who's to say that the Irish bastard doesn't get cocky, right? Well, anyway, I digress. Men like Mike Check got the upper hand against me down the line, but I maintained my status as a two-time CPW World Heavyweight Champion. I maintained my status as the man to this day with the longest reigning undefeated streak as a reigning defending champion. I will go down in the CPW history books as the greatest competitor, and that's why I sit in front of you today, not because of just my own actions. No, my own actions speak louder than words themselves. It was the words that were spoken to me by men like Mr. CC that drove me straight onto the path of greatness. See, when you listen to men who study the craft, when you listen to the men who pay attention each and every day, that's when you learn how to compete. And that is my will that I wish to pass on to each and every one of you competitors, because still to this day, none of you can hold a candle to my roaring flame when I decide that I want to get on the mic and I want to spit my jive, when I want to spit and spit and spit and spit and spit until there's not an ounce of saliva left in my goddamn mouth. And that's when I'll just start fucking slapping you silly. And each and every one of you knows that. Each and every one of you in that CPW locker room who has an ounce of history behind their names has fallen at my feet for very, very, very valid reasons. See, the men who fall to me are the men who think they know strategy, the men who think they have guile, the men who think they know how to speak. And that, my friends, is where each and every one of you has always fallen short to me, because, man, I am the man with the gift of gab. I've got the silver tongue, and that's not my praise. That's the praise from others. And, That's just how I've operated since the start of my career. Do you want to know why the Irish bastard has taken a step off to the sidelines? Is because none of you are worth my time. And well, the fact that the Bullet Club is still here, the fact that the Bullet Club is still standing is laughable. And well, I'm going to prove just how laughable that thought is when me and my brothers in Triple M come back and take the heads off of each and every one of your shoulders, because I am sick and tired of the Bullet Club, because I started my career to end the Bullet Club where it stood, and if that's where I will end my career, then so be it. But the Bullet Club will fall before everything is said and done. I will be 6 feet deep in a pile of dirt with grave worms digging out my goddamn eyes before I allow myself to see the Bullet Club stand one more day. This is a message to each and every one of you in the CPW locker room. I am back, and none of you will stand a fucking chance, because I am the most obnoxious entity in all of promo wrestling. And well, if you don't believe me, you can take a look at the history books, you can go through the records, you can go through the CPW, any PW's goddamn video catalogs, and you will see this man rising on top as the best there ever will be, the best there was, and well, the best that you wish you could be, because, well, I'm just simply the best in this game. And well, the rest of you about to be put to test by the man who was never quite laid to rest. I'll see you in the ring, gentlemen. I'll see each and every one of you in my ring, and I'll show you why it's my ring. Deadly weapon from Italy that'll include the Benelli, summer water artillery, literally cryogenically treated the big invisibly, symphony slicker than 60 Sicilianos from Sicily. Motherfuckers talking but never gonna do shit to me. I'm about to set it on motherfuckers officially. Rip they spine out and just put them out of their misery. No more Mr. Nice Guy, everything maliciously.